Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris and this is my Lord of the Rings hobby, and in today's video we will be painting the Warriors of Minas Tirith. Now we're going to follow the app and also the online instructions from Games Workshop, so we're going to be using a lot of their paints here. I'll tell you about them as we switch through. Now for paintbrushes, all we're going to use is a small layer brush, a medium shade brush and also a small base brush, but you can use medium for this. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it, but that's what I've got. Also, what's not on the website is the white scar, because they don't tell you to paint the shield or the tree with it, so I will show you that detail later. So that's the only thing we're adding on to this. So our first colour what we're going to use is lead belcher. I'm going to use that all around the armour, so just take note and have a look at the box art for it. But there is small little chainmails everywhere, and of course the sleeves. We're also going to paint the helmet, sword, and also the shield, the top of the shield and the bottom of the shield. So just look at that sort of little details. Like I said, look on the box art and it'll give you a full detail of how it's done. There we go. So that's all the details added. As you can slowly see around the model, we've added the one on the shield. But again, just take your time, look at the box art, and just slowly look at the model, because there is small little bit of chainmail here and there. The next colour what we're going to add is a gold, and that's a Retributor armour. I'm going to do that on the tilt of the hilt of the sword, sorry, not tilt, and also the small little bit at the bottom of the sword sheath, I believe it's called. You can see there at the bottom. So we're just going to add those little details in now, and then also after we've done that, we're going to change our water because we don't want metals hanging around. The next paint we're going to use is Black Legion. You can use anything Abandoned Black, and all we're going to do now is go over the gloves, any of the cloth parts, and also the back of the shield. Just take care and just try and know again where you're doing it. The shoes have also been done with this, but yeah, just look at the box art and you should be fine with it. Okay, so our next colour we're going to use after all this is our Rhinox hide. I'm going to apply that all over the levers. So we're just going to take a small little brush here, the layer brush, and these are the small little details. So we're looking on the sword, not the sword, sorry, the shield, where the chap is holding it, the warrior is holding it. Also the back of his legs and the belt buckle and so forth. And we're also going to do his sword carrier, this. Can't remember what it's called, but yeah, we're also going to do that. So yeah, like I said, just take care of him. Try not to get out on the black. If you do, don't worry, we can easily reset that. Okay, just one little thing I forgot to do here was start recording using the skin colour, and all this is Bugman's Glow. So we're just going to apply that nice and slowly around the face, trying to go down the model, just because it's a lot easier, especially because of the face guard, the helmet, what it does. If you do make a mistake, which I do on this video, I've edited it out because, you know, YouTube secrets. But take your time, and if you have to repaint, this is why we're doing all our shades last, just to make it easier for any little mistakes like that. We just tidy up at the end. Okay guys, so now we've added all our base colours, made sure all our little mistakes are done, we're going to look at shading the whole model. So our first shade what we are going to use is going to be null oil. I'm going to use that on all the metallic bits, including the blacks and also the levers. And we're just going to absolutely cape it on here. Make sure of course it doesn't pool, so when you use our brush then to slowly get rid of the excess. Once we apply the null oil, we're going to go into the Reikland flesh shade, and we're going to use that onto the gold and skin. Again, making sure it doesn't pull, so do take your time with this one because it's such a small detail, and we don't want to cape it too much for the model here because we want those recesses and the highlights to actually show at a later date. So this is the model fully done. Now if you wanted to, this could go on your tabletop as it is. As you can see, we've got really nice shade in there with all the other bits, but we're just going to take it to the next step now with our highlights. And our first highlight what we're going to use is Eshelin Grey. And we're using this on all the black stuff, so we're looking at his cloth bit there, the cloth bit under his arms and his gloves, and also his legs and at the top of his shoes there, just to give it a slight little highlight. Remember to take your time, put very little on, and we're using a small layer brush for this one, making sure we get those small little details done without it kicking off too much. And there we have it guys, so that's the grey done, all the nice little highlights along there. So the black's looking really nice now. It look a lot better on the tabletop. This light is not great for it. So once we're happy with that, we're going to go on to layer the Doombull brown, and we're going to add this to all leather bits. So that's including his sword, sleeve, I can't remember what it's called, the sheath I think it's called, also his belt buckles, and then like I said, that small little piece onto his arm where he holds the shield, the leather strap there. Again, take your time and just look for the odd little objects. As you can see here, we've done that. He also has a couple of leather bands under his arms, so just remember to try and highlight those, and the back of his legs where his shin guards are kept on. This is the most difficult bit, I think, for this model, so take your time. This is the white scar. I'm going to use that on all the tree. Hopefully this will zoom in a bit better for you, but again, take your time. Don't rush it. If you do make a mistake, just get some Black Legion out, go over it, leave it to dry, and then go again. But this is one of those things what I do like to take my time with. If you are struggling, don't worry. It's a small little detail. You don't have to do all of it. But here we go. I will also say that the cast on some of these models aren't great. So if they're not looking as good, or as like this one here is not looking as clear as it should do, just try and freehand a bit. Just do the odd little dot here, and it will, like from a distance, as you see here, it looks good. You can tell what it is. It's the white tree. Okay guys, just a side note, I forgot to mention the hair, which I painted with Dryerback and then Go4 Brown for a highlight. Once we're happy with all those little bits, we're going to use the Cadian Flesh. I'm going to use that as a highlight on all like the raised bits. So we're looking at his chin and also his cheeks, his chin bones, and so cheekbones, not chin bones. Okay, our next highlight is our Auric Armor Gold. I'm going to apply that, of course, on the gold areas. We're going to take our time here, and we're just going to look where the sun and lighting is going to hit the model first. So we're not going to do under, we're just going to literally do the top of the sword hilt and go from there. Also not forgetting that bit down at the bottom. Our next colour and our last one is Ironbreaker Silver, and we're going to apply that on all the silver bits, looking for that edge highlight. I've also done in between the armour on the legs, just trying to make it pop a bit more, trying to keep those recesses dark. Also not forgetting like the helmet, especially the nose area where the nose guard, make sure I give a really good highlight that, and also the sword. But it's entirely up to you how far you go with it. I just like to do little bits here and there, and here we have it done. If you do like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.